Hello everyone. I lied again. I lied about not being on today. I am on today. Tell me what the volume's like. I'm getting notes on the YouTube version of this video that my music is too loud. Got it at negative 21 decibels right now. I also I wonder why my mic is at -4. We put it at 0. That might help. It might hurt. Pro tip, if you don't plug your Wacom tablet in, it does not work. I think I'm going to do these plants in color. I don't think it can hurt anything. Like, if I don't want to color, I just a little desaturate the image. But I can start with basic black and white and then just lay color over it, I think. Blue Cobbler, how's it going? Doing good today? I hope so. I mean, assuming you're not a horrible person who's doing horrible things, then I hope your day is going well. You know, if you have someone locked in your basement, then I hope your day goes really poorly. I want to make sure all my bases are covered here, you know. I tend to have this presupposition in my head that because I don't have people locked in my basement, that anyone who watches me and, you know, enjoys my work probably also does not have people locked in their basement. But, you know, that is a presumption. You do have someone locked in your basement, but you're still a human being. I'm doing alright. I'm how's the term go? Sweating balls. Like, you know, I'm sweating baseballs, I'm sweating basketballs, sweating footballs, or soccer balls if you're in the US. Those balls are just pouring out of all of my sweat glands. Other than that, I'm doing great. I've got 2 weekends left. This weekend, which is already halfway over, right? Today's Sunday, isn't it? Yes. Yes? Yes. This is what happens when you're unemployed. You forget what day it is. Yeah, this weekend and the next weekend, and the book like has to be done by the end of next weekend. Even if it's just the ebook. The print book needs to at least be submitted to the printer so that we can get our proof, so that it can come out as close as possible to when the ebook comes out. So I have to submit the document like probably today to figure out how big the spine has to be so I could get the cover art, you know, completely right. Because right now it's the spine is like, who knows what it'll be. It depends on how many pages there are, and I won't know until I start the submission process. Apparently there's no way to find that out beforehand, which seems ridiculous to me. You can't calculate based on how many pages you are until you start the book submission process, at which point I'm going to have to go into the Photoshop document and, you know, scooch everything back and forth, a couple pixels here or there, hopefully just a couple pixels. And then on top of that, I'm torn between this idea that when I posted it on Facebook, got generally positive reaction to it, but all the people, well, most of the people who have read the book who see this idea are like, no, that kind of ruins it. You should not do that. But it's to address a concern that I've had where several beta readers have told me that after reading the first couple chapters, they thought it was a kid's book, a book for children, like a Harry Potter or a series of unfortunate events. And I would really hate for some percentage of the readers to put the book down for that reason. I don't mind if they put the book down because they don't like the style, they don't think it's good writing, they don't like the genre. Any of that's fine. But if they put it down because of a fundamental misunderstanding about, you know, the demographic the book is intended for, that seems like a huge waste to me. So a solution we had is to put a little snippet of the main character as a young man in a very stressful life and death situation that occurs later in the book, right up front. Just a snippet of it. A couple hundred words. It's a very intense scene, but one of my most trusted editors and story developers who's been helping me with a lot of really great ideas. I was really excited about this idea because of all the positive feedback, but then she said she really didn't like it. She does not like what that does to the story if the readers come into it knowing that these particular characters are going to be in this particular situation. I mean, it is very spoilery in a sense. Hey, Van Morta. You have words, but then you sneezed, and the Scrabble board now says... That sounds like a powerful sneeze. I don't mind having these trees pretty rough. Again, I'm trying to simulate a handcrafted map, so having the little imperfections of wonky lines and like little places where the ink goes out of the line and stuff. I kind of like that. Oh. Man, I am so worn down right now. Hey, can anyone watching right now let me know if the music is too loud? I'm getting comments on YouTube saying the music was crazy loud. So I turned it down to -21. For all I know, you can't even hear music, but a bit loud. Okay, well, I'm going to err on the side of a bit quiet. Let's go 24. Can you still hear the music now? Okay, as long as you can still hear it and there's something and not just like the silent or the hum of my heater, I will be happy. Vanilla, rum, and juice. Don't know what I think about that. I think of all the alcoholic beverages that I have tried, rum is the least terrible to me. That's the one that's like made from sugar, essentially, right? So it's the sweetest. Basically, if a drink tastes like alcohol, I do not like it. And then I say that, and all these people recommend various beers and wines, and are like, no, this tastes like chocolate, this tastes like apple. And it's like, nope. Tastes like alcohol with like the slightest hint of those things. Sebastian SW, hey, thank you for the sub at tier 1. Super appreciate that. Is this your first sub? I feel like you've subbed before, but I might be getting you mixed up with a different SW. Yeah, I mean, it didn't say it was your second time, so I'm guessing it's your first. But regardless, thank you. Sincerely. I need all the support I can get right now. Someday I will be back in the position of being able to support others more than I'm getting supported. But right now, I need the support. Life is about balance, right? I guess it's not about balance, but I feel like it can be experienced most fully when it has balance in it. do some Lotus Whispers. I'm at this annoying... I run into this problem a lot in creative projects where I'm building assets that I won't necessarily need right away. For instance, these particular trees I'm not going to be probably using in any of the maps for book 1. So I should not be spending any time with them. However, there's this price that you pay if you just do parts of a thing and then you have to come back to it later and do the rest of the parts of the thing, because you have to be like, oh wait, how was I doing this? Oh, okay, I was on this layer. Okay, and what brushes was I using? Oh right, I was using the chalk brush for the eraser and the blah, you know, and a lot of that you just never get back if you leave it. And so it's like, if I could save some amount of time, I'm not even going to guess how much, by just doing the icons that I know I'm going to need for the map, for the book 1 maps. But it'd be so annoying to have to figure this stuff all out again. But is that more or less annoying than the amount of pressure and extra hours that I'm adding to my plate? Especially since we're at the point where like every minute counts. Kind of wondering if I should build shadows into the bases of these trees. I feel like I probably obviously should put shadows at the bases of these trees. Probably, obviously, definitely, maybe should. Okay, so here's an abstract question for you guys. You're interested enough to buy a book or at least pick it up off the shelf. Check it out. Are you willing to have a little bit of spoiler in order to get like really sucked into the book? To be like, oh wow, there's some exciting stuff that's going to be happening. Or would you rather start with a bit of a slower burn, you know, where it's building the world, the characters, the atmosphere, etc., and then build naturally to that point? Because I do think a lot of the power from the little snippet that we're, you know, experimenting with putting at the front of the book, a lot of the power comes from having experienced these characters growing up together and their relationship and blah blah blah. So how does it impact your reading experience if you know all along from the first time they meet that they're destined to end up in this awful situation together? Hey, Aletha. I was just debating out loud the merits and drawbacks of the chapter snippet at the beginning. The spoilerific chapter snippet. I'm still very torn on it. I'm gonna have to make a decision very soon. You're one of the only people I know, Aletha, who has read the books and also likes that snippet being there. Although I guess it's been quite a while since you've read the books, right? So maybe that has an impact. But everyone I know who has read it recently is like, no, I don't, it's not good for the story for you to know this stuff up front. And so I don't want to sacrifice the integrity of the story with that spoiler in the front, except for the fact that it does the thing that we want it to do. It very much makes it clear this is not a kid's book. I'm trying to, and that's only one solution. To me, it's the fastest, easiest solution. Like, I thought we addressed all the things that made people feel that, except for the fact, obviously, that we would go in a linear direction from our protagonist as a 10-year-old, and there are, 6 chapters of him where he's still, below the age of 17. And Mortis says, don't mind spoilers, but others might. Depends if the journey is what you are telling and not the end game. Most people know heroes don't die, they always win this journey. It's not really about winning or losing. It's more about the relationship with his best friend and the very difficult situation they end up in. So, like, the minute you meet the best friend in the book, you're going to be like, oh, man, And so there's going to be that layer of knowledge over everything, which it creates an interesting tension, I think, but it also is like a weird layer of foreknowledge that isn't necessarily, like, thematically coherent, I would say, with the overall work and tone of the story. This says, I couldn't think how the story starts with Beaumark as a kid. Should seem to make that fairly clear. I thought that too. But man, there are people, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's just like the specific constellation of books they have ever read or been exposed to, that just assume or have been taught or conditioned that if a book has, or a story starts the protagonist as a child, it's going to be about children for the whole book and for children. And how do you... Like, I'm wondering if there's a metatextual solution to this. Like, okay, the stupidest version is literally, starts, author's note. Though this book starts with several chapters of Beaumark as a child, he will grow up and go on a big adventure for grown-ups. Okay, so that's the stupid version. Is there a way to make that not stupid? Cobbler says, I do like prologues. I think they're a bit like an entree, but OFC, I literally don't know what OFC stands for. I'm sorry. It depends on how much and what the prologue is about. Samwise and Frodo. Yeah, there's a little bit of Samwise and Frodo in there. Okay, what's a way to do a shadow? I think if I do gray around the base, just kind of dap a little bit. That will give me a shadow. Let's see. And I can reset it a little bit. Yeah, I think that'll really help ground them. The blurb says 17-year-old, right? Yeah. I mean, how often do you read the blurb of a book and then immediately start reading the book, right? I think the general operation is more like I'm browsing in the bookstore on Amazon.com or wherever. I read the blurb. I'm like, that sounds interesting. I buy the book, and then it sits on my Kindle until I finish the current book that I'm reading, and then I'm like, oh yeah, this one, let's give it a try. I don't reread the blurb then, right? The cover image is still there, and I'm pretty sure the cover image doesn't have any of the tropes of kids' books. Here's where it's at right now, by the way, until I replace the map in the background. I mean, I want to look at that and be like, oh, a book for little children. Yay! Break the mold. Okay, yeah, so I could just go back to like 1800s novels and just like the author just like pops in randomly and to say things. Gentle reader, let it be known that although the protagonist seems to be making a foolish choice, you will find that they change their ways. Why is my brush acting dumb right now? It's like, did I do something to slow down my computer? I opened an image, and then I closed an image, and now my brush is laggy. You know what, I'm not going to do this on the other trees until I make sure it works for these trees. I'm going to use my brain parts this time. All the brain parts getting activated here. Okay, let's just see how these puppies work out right now, shall we? Oh, that's not gonna work, is it? Nay, it is not. File, save as. Let's see, map icons 2, and I think I was calling it process? Yes, process. So now I can come back to the non-process one when I need to paint the rest, but for now, let's see how this works. grunge. Oh, and I also wanted to add color. Let's throw us a color layer over here real quick. Does not look juvenile, but on the YA side. What makes you think YA? Is it just the close-up of the character's face? Bring it up again to refresh your memory. I'm trying to think of other YA books that have like a statue bust of a character. I mean, maybe the fact that it's a statue bust doesn't bring with it any information like I think it does, but yeah. Let me know why you think YA. It's fine. Like, YA is a super hot category, and it's probably how we're going to want to market it. But, it's like action shot with a lot of YA to grab your attention. 80s, 90s sci-fi. Huh. Thanks, Blue Clobber. Oh, it is Blue Clobber. Yeah, I'm very happy with it myself. Very happy with how it turned out. Where in the world is a nice spattery? I want a spatter. Let me spatter. It's not a spatter. Scattered leaves. Nothing more appropriate than scattering leaves on trees. Okay, and then I will then oh, I forgot to do little stumpies. Gotta do the stumpies. Set it to, yeah, looks good. I mean, when I was researching YA book covers, I saw a lot of like logos, like Hunger Games, Maze Runner. There was another one where it's like literally no characters, nothing. It's just like boom, a symbol of some kind. The more action-oriented ones that I see are for grade school, like Harry Potter and Series of Unfortunate Events. They always have characters who are like running, jumping, flying, you know, hiding. Let's see what these look like. There we go. New folder. Tales from Talafar. Tree. What are these? Suddenly I can't remember tree names. They're not aspen, right? Oh, maybe they are. No, aspen are specifically the ones with the really white trunks, but they also have kind of tall. All right, all you arbor files out there, help me out. What are these? What are these trees? What is that closest to in the real world? Mind you, they are not these pine trees down below. Don't get them confused with that. These are deciduous. I have no idea how to spell deciduous. Okay. Here we go. Look at this. Deciduous trees. None of these are what I'm looking for. Like tall and skinny, but not pine needle. I mean the colored ones. They're almost, no, they're not that. Tall, skinny, deciduous trees. Here we go. Tulip poplar. Lombardy poplar. Okay, so it looks like I'm doing poplar. Yes, indeed, poplar. Yay! Did it. Oh, shoot. I was meaning to rename that. Okay, so now I've got to go there and change the name of that. Sprites, trees. And of course I managed to still save it incorrectly as PSD. Let's try that again, shall we? I'll save as. I can do this. Trees. PNG. Poplar 1. Yay. Alright, let's see if this works. Wonder draft. See them. Although first I want to try mountains that I just updated. Mount large. I guess I do want this fairly large for the scale, since those trees I want to be legible. Looks like they are taking on the color of the dirt. Dirt green, they become green. But the shadows are good. They are way darker than I want. Okay, so this is where I have to do this funny little maneuver. So this guy right here was generated when to make the assets that the Wonder Draft engine can see, and this sample color right here, this is what's making it take on the color of the terrain. But there's it has a different one for every tree, but apparently not. And now I don't remember what the other option was. Was it simple? It might be simple. save like a smart person. Hey, I do. Normal is what I want. Yeah, not the best user interface quite yet. Okay, so close this down, discard changes, reopen. We may want to check in some smaller hills and our mountains just for variety. Oh yeah, I have those too. I was just wanted to see the things I had done before I started streaming were actually showing up. Okay. How we doing? Oh, that's interesting. Getting a little bit of noisy square around them. Now, where's that ghost coming from? Must be in the lines of the paper. But I did confirm that we got the color working, so hooray for that. Hi Daddy B, how you doing? Okay, so how do we fix that problem? I had the same problem with the lion head logo I was working on last night. What did I do to solve that? I'm going to say that so what happened was I stacked up the black. I selected black and then I stacked it all up. Yeah, you can kind of see little bits. Zoom in. See that little grain there? So, is there maybe there's just a remove grain filter that I can use on it. Let's see. I've literally never done that, but I feel like that's something everyone does in Photoshop on a regular basis. Reduce noise. Is that what I want? Strength. Preserve details. Okay, turn all the way down. I assume it obliterates everything. Not sure. Remove the ground patches in the parent image, or have the ground and the parent image take on the surface color instead. I don't think you can change one of those factors, sadly. But if it's just gray, yeah, I don't know. I'll be finding these things out. Okay, well, if I run this, what happens? Does not solve the problem. Oh, hold on. BRB. Okay, crisis averted. Now I can get back to this crisis. Crisis of the noise. Oh, the noise. Okay, so the stupid way to solve this problem is to go in by hand and erase all the grain. Can you see that difference? Definitely a difference. It's possible. Let's try this by select the color range with black and turn the fuzziness down, and in theory I could be getting just the lines and not the grain, but I mean, I thought that's what I was doing with the sketch to begin with. So, let's see. Is there a difference? So obviously that, because I had to lower the threshold, now it's missing a bunch of that. And so the way I fixed that before was by stacking these up. But if the grain is just like slightly ghostily there still, then every time I do that, it's bumping that back up. Yeah, so let's try doing it with just a little bit more fuzz. No, that's not what I want. Select color range. And let's put the fuzziness back up to like here. Maybe that'll be the right threshold. Okay. Alright, so it gets closer to preserving all the detail I have. Again, I don't mind if it's kind of broken and jagged. I want it to look like pen work. But if I delete, will I see a difference? Oh, I need to merge these all first. Merge layers. I don't think I see a difference. Guess there's only one way to find out. So before I save this off as a separate document again, get rid of all these. The new lines layer. Call this fade, and then make another layer, which I'm going to call color. All right. Don't care if I go outside of the lines because that will be cleared up shortly. Leaves are better. Scattered leaves. Okay. Save this as the process version again. So I guess the annoying thing is I need to go through this process for every one of them. I should have just started with one. Every time I make an iteration, I have to do it on 5 of them now. You okay? Okay. Let us see if that fixed the problem. Alright, yeah, no more box around him. Excellent. I would like the shadow under them to be less extreme. That's a pretty easy fix. But I think it establishes at least that yes, a grounding shadow is a good idea.
I really like their design.
You like their...
Yeah, it looks really good.
Happy poplars.
Mm-hmm. But the coloring too.
Yeah.
The shading is that what you've been doing to fix the mountains? Like when you've been coloring it in when you're watching the video?
No, well, to a certain degree, yeah. Not the color part.
Is it easy to just line up that shadow? Like, do you have to do it here before you just drop in?
Actually, I could.
It might be cool to be able to do, and I don't know how much this was, but if you, assuming that the shadows weren't already in their own layer, that way if you needed...
Well, this is what I'm talking about, the shadow, this little patch on the base.
You could do it opacity.
Yeah.
That way, I don't know if you'd ever, because I don't know if it would ever need to be, or you'd ever want a little, be able to do a little more dynamic once you get mountains and stuff in, you know? Especially if
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, but this is still in the experimental stage. Ed and Dottie B, say hi.
Hello.
Now, Aletha specifically gave you the cold shoulder. She did not say hello.
Well, I mean, I just got here.
That's just like her, though. You know, she's just like that. Rude.
Everything. Today, I'm like, I need to give my hands a break.
Good.
And my back. But that
but not your butt.
I'm trapped again. And I'm really tired. But so I decided to start like cleaning the toilet.
Honey, cleaning the toilet is not a break for your hands. I will clean any toilet. Just point me at it.
That pain that Erickson said, like that thing in my thumb, He said eventually it'll get so bad it gets locked and triggered, whatever. God,
Like trigger finger, but for your thumb.
Yeah, I mean that's what it is, but it's like that sheath thing. But he said, before we do all that, my right hand has to get better. But it makes so much more sense, the pain, like why it's there. But I'm noticing it, and I'm like, oh god. Just because somebody gets it a shorter finger or whatever locked, I think there's things that they can do. I just feel like it could potentially get to that point before I'm ready for surgery on that hand. So, I mean, assume there's other ways to relax it. But, I mean, how hard would that be? That surgery is like, I feel like you could do that in office.
Like as an outpatient procedure?
Yeah, you just block the arm.
You just slice that part off.
It's like a tiny little piece.
Is it tendon or bone that needs to be removed?
It's I think he said it's called a pulley, but it's something that the tendon the abductors slide through.
Go through? Oh, like a sheath of some sort? Okay.
Yeah, in a way, right? But mine's all gunked up and hard, and he's like, I shouldn't even be able to. Really, you shouldn't be able to feel those ever on people. But he's like, yeah, yours is so thick. So it's like scar tissue, gunked up, whatever. I mean, I don't know if he just removes it or cleans it up. In his office, but then I could shadow.
Alita says she's cleaning the fish cage. And then hi, Heather.
Toilet, fish tank, equally annoying.
Well, she said specifically fish cage. That's probably why her fishes die so quickly. It's because she keeps them in a cage instead of a tank.
Sounds like constant watering. I woke up today and I'm like, man, it's probably like 9 o'clock. And
what was it?
5. I laid there drying, and then I just got laid there lying asleep with my stomach. Can't wait. She's calling me lose.
Good old lose Heather. When she's not losing, she's losing. People that throw fish in the toilet too. Oh, that's true. Could have been a euphemism for the toilet. In the old fish cage. Okay, now if this works, I'll be fairly confident to go forward with all the rest of the trees in this style. I'm allergic to you asking me to open things. What?
Twist.
Oh.
Jeez.
Just gonna break it off.
Don't break it.
Now I'm allergic to Heather not asking me to open things too. Wow, that's still so non-transparent. Did that actually take the changes I did? Okay. I have an idea. What if, let's see, where's one? Number one. Shut up, Wesley. Get over here, number one. So let's say I grab this part. Control X, Control V. Why does it not go back exactly where I've got it from? Why? And then just turn this layer opacity down to 50%. 50%, I say. Oh, no, I don't want to flatten edge. I want to merge layers. Okay. Now, I'm not allergic to her, I'm just allergic to her asking me for things and not asking me for things. If she can just be in a continual state of indecision about asking me for things, that'd be perfect. Which I think she actually usually is. I wish she would ask me for things more often, full stop. But she's always like, oh, I didn't want to bother you. I know you're in the zone. I know you're making good progress. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so at least one of these should have. Okay, that's definitely the one with the more transparent. No, wait. These are the ones with the more transparent. Boom, 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 boom. I think there's a way to specify which one in the series it's gonna put down, but I can't figure that out. Anyway, that's definitely better. I think it can go even less, though. We'll cut that down to maybe 25%. Let's go in our history, go back to here, change the opacity to 25-ish. Now I can barely see it with my naked eye at all. Also, I'm sorry for exposing myself on a live stream. You guys could see my naked eyes. Okay. Never been modest about covering my eyes. Yeah, sunglasses would be more appropriate, for sure. Okay. So that might be actually too subtle. Okay, so I'm going to say 30% is going to be the right number. No, because this was 26. I'm going to say 35. Who's a gambling man? Who wants to bet against this 35 number I've got here? Hey, UA Ross, thank you for subscribing over on YouTube. Okay, 35. Boom. should also, just now occurred to me for safety's sake. Uh-oh, did I break it? Just thinking. I think I closed and reopened it too quickly. Can I close you? Closed. Okay. Give it a minute. Man, working at a computer with sunglasses on, that sounds awful. Oh boy. Is WonderDraft permanently broken now? Did I do something to break WonderDraft? That would be really bad. All of my plans kind of hinge on getting these maps done in the next couple of days. Version is up to date. Okay. This might be one of those things where I need to restart the computer. Maybe it didn't have a full enough shutdown. Let me check out all my beautiful processes going on. Processes. Sorry, I clicked the wrong tab. Task Manager, and you're gonna punish me by sitting here. It's possible that it just, the program is just janky enough that it's sucking away all the computer resources. And maybe closing, reopening is like, it's not feeding that RAM back to the computer or something when it closes. Okay, apparently I need Task Manager to close Task Manager. Okay, so according to this, my new Task Manager, my memory is only at 19%. Got Photoshop, Chrome, Music, Streamlabs, Task Manager, and Explorer. Let's see, nowhere on here is Thanks for all these service hosts. I super appreciate that all of these are running. I'm sure they're all vitally important. Okay, so nothing is giving me red flags that is saying like shouldn't be able to run. But the fact that it's taking so long for things to open and close seems to contradict the fact that I'm only at 20% of this. Okay. So let's close this garbage down. Wow. Am I doomed? Can't. Oh, wow. It's been since the PC was turned off for more than 5 minutes, like completely off. Probably a very long time. I I always restart it before a stream, but I don't like turn it off and let it sit. Is that a good thing to do? Okay. Wow, yeah, Mr. Computer seems to be toast. Okay. Well, I better go ahead and shut off the stream and let my computer sit for 5 minutes. Wish it luck. Wish me luck. I'll be back in, you know, about 10 minutes then. So, yeah. See you guys shortly. Hang in there with me. Promise I'll be back unless my computer just melts. Okay, bye.